Thank you for listening to WZNC LP Bethlehem, North Country Community Radio, 99.9 FM, and streaming online at nococommunityradio.org. You're tuned into North of Normal. I'm your host, Amanda McKeen. My mission is to create an unfiltered, human-centered space where local leaders, business owners, and changemakers share their stories, perspectives, and passions, not to promote, but to connect. North of Normal celebrates what makes our community, our North Country community rich, real, and worth rooting into. We're live every Tuesday from 10 to noon here at NCCR on Main Street in Littleton. And today's guest is a returning guest. We have Paul Cormier with us. Paul, thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we kind of just jumped right in here. We were in the middle of trying to figure out how this hour was going to go. And then it was like, oh, it's 9:59. We got to go on air here. So, some of you maybe had heard Paul's first episode, which happened, I think, last June. You were my second guest ever on this show.
That's right.
Yes, thank you for believing in me, Paul. You had to come on when I only had one episode to show for what I was trying to create. And you and I know each other from AVSAR. You're a founding member of AVSAR, right?
That's correct.
And so I knew you through AVSAR. I have been on the team for 2-ish years and always appreciated your leadership and the way that your presence, you know, whether it was a mission or it was training, just always appreciated your just humility and being there and, you know, doing what you do and being good at what you do. And I found out, I think it was last June on air, I found out that you make and play fiddle.
That's correct.
You make your own fiddles.
That's correct.
So today's episode is not only to talk about a little bit more about search and rescue and some maybe personal details about your life, but also to give you the opportunity to share with our community about your fiddle making and even give us a chance to hear you play. So we're going to see how this goes because you're the first guest I've had on that's going to share music with us in this way. And I'm so excited.
You may never do this again.
We'll see. Okay, so before we get into the subject matter of fiddles, you had just mentioned something to me before we went on air about kind of who you tell people that you are. So somebody that doesn't know you, that's listening, how would you introduce yourself to them?
I'm a retired builder and designer.
Yeah. Like a house builder?
Yeah, I build and design houses.
Okay.
I had that company since 78 and retired sort of about maybe 5 years ago.
Oh, not that long ago.
No, when you're in business for yourself, it's hard to retire. So.
Totally. I'm sure I'll understand that in a few decades.
And when you enjoy what you do, you don't want to retire anyway. So
yeah. So you're primarily a builder.
Yep.
You don't term yourself a fiddler or a musician, is what you said. You don't call yourself a musician.
No, not really. I mean, I started playing fiddle when I was, about 19 years old. Okay. And that kind of came out of going to hanging out with the AMC groups and trail crew and stuff. We used to go down to these contra dances down in Tamworth. And Dudley Laughlin was playing them a lot down there. And would go contra dancing all the time. And my mother decided that I must have the music bug in the family. Nobody else in my family was musically oriented at all anyway. And so this guy named Rudy Royer, who was a pretty famous fiddler in the Bethel area, he gave my dad a fiddle to give to me.
Nice.
And he says, you can't sell it. If he takes to it, he'll buy a better one.
Yeah.
And that was my first fiddle,
Okay.
which I did give away. And I started playing from there. I learned pretty much by myself. I don't read music.
By ear?
I can't read music.
Okay.
Everything's done by ear.
Very cool.
And I really embrace the oral tradition, which covers many areas. People who learned in the logging camps and things like that, they learned through the oral tradition. And a lot of these songs are not written down. They're written down now and they're archived, but they're played in the oral tradition, which means that you play them the way you want. You don't play them the way they are written necessarily. And I'm really intrigued, probably because my major in college was history, so I'm interested in history and the way that these stories get told and passed down orally is really fascinating to me. You'll hear when some of these songs I play are pretty notey. And if you go anywhere, if you go up to Cape Breton or into Canada, anywhere, you'll find that these songs are very close to being exactly the same, even though they've been passed on by ear.
And even though people play it the way that they want?
Yep.
Well, that's pretty amazing.
It's kind of like jazz.
Okay.
Right? You can pick out the tune, but a jazz musician will take that tune and be pretty free with it.
Yeah.
You know? And a lot of stories and a lot of these sea shanty songs are all passed down with the oral tradition. When I was up in Newfoundland, I was at the Legion Hall in Woody Point. If I decide to do that sea shanty, you can imagine the people, a whole Legion Hall knows these songs.
Okay.
And when I was up in Kiel Harbor in Newfoundland, everybody would come out. They really participate in the music and the performances, and they all know the songs, and people play. And it's not like it is down here in the States quite so much. They really participate in a performance.
How is it down here in the States?
Down here in the States, we sit and, like, if we went to a concert, let's say that Patrick Ross was doing, or something like that, and he was playing, and he was supposed to play, I don't know, somewhere from 1 to 4.
Yeah.
He'd sit down and he'd play from 1 to 4, and we would all sit and we'd listen to him and drink our coffee or whatever. But up in Cape Breton, if you go to the Doryman, let's say, the Red Shoe, Colin Grant will come in and he'll play, and he doesn't take a break. And when he gets tired, he'll hold his fiddle up, and somebody from the crowd will get up and grab his fiddle, and they keep on playing. And there'll be a group of people that get up and dance.
Yeah.
And somebody might get up and chair dance. Somebody might get up and sing right in the middle of the performance. And they just really, really participate in the music. And when down here in the States, if we do a contra dance, we have a caller. And they call out the figures of the dance.
Okay.
In Cape Breton, they don't have a caller. All the dances are memorized.
Yeah.
And so if you're doing a dance, somebody will just say that we're doing the Mabu set, or we're doing the Shetty Camp set.
Okay.
And all the dances, 50, 60 people, will be doing that set without a caller.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a really cool cultural aspect that I don't think I've experienced.
But
it sounds magical.
Oh, it is. It's just, I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, I know you're very passionate about this. I think I saw, when did you last go up there? Was it recently?
I go up to Cape Breton every August. And the last few years I've been traveling up into Newfoundland almost on a yearly basis.
And it was for the fiddle.
I went up to Newfoundland. I've been going up Newfoundland skiing.
Oh.
Doing a lot of backcountry skiing up there. And
you don't really hear about people going to Newfoundland to ski.
It's a gold mine.
Is it?
And I like going where people don't ski.
Yeah.
We had one of our group that went. She ended up going up to Greenland the next year skiing. And interestingly enough, she picked up one of these songs that I did in Newfoundland, and she was up in Greenland on a boat, and they were going around to get on one of the glaciers in the boat, and they started singing one of these sea shanties. And she's like, I can't believe it. They know this song.
That's sweet. Okay, so before we get into you playing, I kind of want to save that for not the end, but towards the second half of our show today. We just had Valentine's Day, and a couple months ago you had made a comment on Facebook. I can't remember if it was one of my posts or something, but it was to me, and it was about you being with your wife Michelle and how you guys have been together for a very long time and love each other more and more every day. So I would love to hear a little bit about what Valentine's looked like for you this year with Michelle, and then if you would share how you met her, the story of you guys coming together.
Valentine's Day was pretty much like any other day for us. We don't really celebrate birthdays and anniversaries very, very well. We probably just went for a cross-country ski. And
you ski together?
Yep.
Okay.
We try to get out. Michelle gets out more than I do these days, but she's out every day.
Yeah.
Doing something, so... but yeah, just pretty much a run-of-the-mill day. We've been married for 46 years, and met in 1978, I guess, something like that.
Yeah.
And I was up in Gilead. I was best friends with her sister and brother-in-law at the time. And used to come up and visit pretty much every weekend. And Charlene was busy with their second child, and Michelle had come out from Montana to help.
Nice.
And
is she from Montana?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. She's from a little town called Dutton, Montana, out in the middle of a wheat field, just north of Great Falls.
Sweet.
I walked in the door, and she was sitting at the kitchen table, and that was it. That was it. I was gunning for her. And the next weekend, I invited her to a contra dance.
Oh. Wow. Wait, how old were you?
78, so 23.
Okay.
Yep.
So the second weekend that you knew her, you were at a contra dance.
Yep.
Were you playing fiddle?
Of course. Can you imagine inviting a girl out on a date and then not dancing with her?
So did she just sit and watch?
Oh, no. You go to the contra dance, you get to dance with everybody in the room.
Did she know how to do that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Her father played, I guess it's a Czechoslovakian concertina.
Okay.
And actually, when we, shortly after that, we went out west together back to Montana. And we got to her house and walked in the door of her house, and I had my fiddle with me, and her dad said, well, you got a fiddle. We playing a dance tonight. Come on.
That's awesome.
And I says, I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I played a dance with her dad that night.
Wow.
And,
I didn't even know that the fiddle was part of that story. That's so cool. So it really, is deeply meaningful to you for many reasons.
Yeah, we went out to Montana on the train, and which is kind of a long-winded story in itself, but the fiddle provided us with food and sustenance all the way across the country. So,
did you put out a cup and then people give you tips or what?
Oh no, we were on the train. There was there was this musical group that had taken a bunch of Shriners. That's what
okay.
A bunch of Shriners.
Yeah.
And they had hired out the whole car, and they came back to the next car and brought me up. We rode all the way across.
Because they knew you had your fiddle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was pretty funny.
How long was that trip?
Well, we our attempt was to hop freight trains all the way out west. And so the first night we made it from Berlin to Sherbrooke.
Okay.
And then we got up into Montreal, and the train yard in Montreal was so big that we realized that we were out of our league.
Oh.
We were going to have a hard time hopping all the way across. But there happened to be a passenger train that was headed across to Calgary. So that was $70 for the ticket. And we decided we better get a ticket. So we got a ticket and we rode out to Calgary, and then we hitchhiked down to Montana from there.
How far? Isn't Calgary kind of far from Montana?
No, not too bad. It took us a couple days.
Yeah. Wow, that's quite an adventure. That must have, I can imagine that something like that would either make or break a relationship.
Well, we were both pretty adventurous people. So,
okay.
Yeah, and then we were out in Montana for, I don't know, not very long. And then we took Michelle's truck. We drove back east.
That must have been nice to have a truck.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome.
So how soon after you met each other did you get married?
We got married I met her in late October, and we got married in May.
So pretty quick.
And we were together from that first day and living together as a couple.
Wow. So there was no questioning.
No, you just knew. That was it. Met her, went out west 2 weeks after I met her, and we've been together ever since.
Thanks for sharing that. That's a very special story. I don't know if I've heard many people that get together like that. Do you know that that's a unique story?
I don't think about it.
No, it's normal to you. All right. So, how has search and rescue impacted your relationship with Michelle?
It's just another one of these things that we've always done together.
She's also on the
She
team.
also is a founding member of AVSAR.
Okay.
And, when this was, AVSAR, of course, was Mike Pelchet's brainchild.
Mm-hmm.
And we all kind of rallied around Mike and did what we had to do. And Mike and Diane have been together for a long time. And they have participated in AVSAR. And in that period of time, Michelle would go regularly out on rescues and stuff. And it's just one of the activities that we embrace.
It was part of life.
And she's been treasurer for, I don't know, forever. Been on the board.
Mm-hmm.
And she takes care of the Co-ops Bike Club and the NHOC and AVSAR and I don't know how many non-profits she takes care of now. She's not as active in the field,
mm-hmm.
of course, because we're both in our 70s. She's got a new hip, and you can't be in the front lines forever. So, so she's participating by taking care of the treasury end of it.
Yep.
And I'm participating by taking care of the organizational end of it.
Yep. So, did you ever experience any strain in your relationship from moments on rescue missions? Did that ever come into play?
We have had very little strain in our relationship.
Really?
Even with town government things. She's selectman in Twin. Chair of the zoning board, which is kind of like
Twin?
a court. Yep. So
okay.
Many times we have to override selectmen's decisions. Never gets in the way.
Huh.
Just did not. I can't.
Why do you think that is?
Probably the type of people we are. We both come from pretty solid families. And so none of our families really have had a lot of turmoil.
Huh.
And you just learn to live together, and when a decision is made, that's what the decision is, and you just keep going.
I think I need to learn some things from you. So probably minimal fights.
Minimal fights.
Yeah. There's no hill worth dying on.
Not even. No, God, I can't imagine what the worst fight we've had is. Maybe taking somebody's coffee cup or something. It's just.
Okay.
Your Honor, she took my coffee cup. What would you do?
Oh, well, that's awesome. I feel like there's probably some wisdom there that needs to be shared with the rest of the world. You know, there's just a lot of chaos and turmoil right now in our society, and you don't really meet many people that are calm and at peace, especially in their relationships.
Well, just think of how many people are in AVSAR and how many people are on these boards and stuff. If you're going to exist on these boards, you have a board because you want a variety of opinions.
Yeah.
That means you want different opinions.
Yeah.
If you don't want different opinions, it's just and it's not going to work if you're going to get all wound up because somebody has a difference of opinion, or if you get outvoted on something that you feel passionate about.
Yeah.
If 7 people want something and you're the only one that doesn't, you're probably the one that's wrong.
Yeah. Well, let's pivot to a little bit more of search and rescue. I wanted to ask you something that I didn't ask you last time. What was your hardest rescue that you've ever been on? And I know you've been on a lot, so there's probably a few.
Yeah, there's a bunch. I don't rate them. We've had a pile of pretty full-on. Boy, you're pushing me on that one.
I am pushing you.
I would say the Tinkman rescue is probably pretty hard.
I'm not familiar with that one.
There were 2 young gentlemen that were starting out on a presidential traverse, and this will be a pretty similar story to everything else that we hear. The weather was forecasted to be horrible. They went anyway, and they came over the top of Jefferson And one person wasn't doing as well as the other person, who was much stronger. And the second guy ended up just, he couldn't make it. The first person continued on to the summit and was able to get help. And that morning we went out to try to find the first guy. And the conditions that morning was, I remember they called us from the summit to tell us that the temperature had risen to 38 below.
Oh.
And the winds were about 70 to 75 miles an hour. And we had to go up the Jefferson Notch Road and break trail all the way up Caps Ridge.
Yep.
And there was a crew of us plus MRS that day. And we found the person, and we decided that we weren't ever going to go back up there again. So we loaded him in the litter, and we hauled him down that same day.
Yeah.
That was a pretty taxing day.
I'm assuming he had passed.
He had passed.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of them, you know.
Yeah, a bunch of them. I mean, how many years have you been doing search and rescue?
Since 1987 officially.
Yeah, it's a while. So you've seen a lot. One of my questions for you is, what have you found helpful in processing hard moments that you've experienced out there?
I tend not to internalize things.
Yeah.
So, you're on a rescue team. So you know you're going to see blood, you're going to see pain, you're going to see people that are uncomfortable, and you're going to see people that are deceased. And probably coming out of my family experiences, learning to hunt and fish and stuff, you know, you used to gutting out fish and gutting out deer and shooting things, so death doesn't seem to be that big of an issue to me, especially in the wintertime when summertime it gets pretty stinky.
It's different, yeah.
But no, you just do your job and you go home and you put it behind you, and I don't know, I just don't, I haven't, there's a couple of them that are bad, but
yeah. Did you ever have to rescue someone you knew?
Yeah, I have.
I would think that would be a little bit different when you know them.
Yeah, it is. We had one rescue where this guy's girlfriend had gone out on a cross-country ski one night, and she didn't come back. And this is how the secret society works.
Okay, I'm ready.
You get a phone call.
Yeah.
What are you doing tonight? Oh, just watching TV. How'd you like to go for a hike? This is not a rescue. Got it.
Oh, interesting.
And so a whole bunch of us went out that night for a hike.
Okay. You need to explain the reasoning behind this.
And then, well, most of us will starve to death before we call out for a rescue. We don't want anybody to...
Yes. Is it, there's like a shame attached to it when you're on...
No, it's a point of pride.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with having your friends help you out.
Okay.
But you don't want an official rescue.
You don't want Fish and Game to show up and then publish a press release about it, right? So you went out and you rescued this woman?
We just happened to bump into her.
Oh, you bumped into her.
We bumped into her.
That's good. She must have been really happy to bump into you.
Oh, yeah. We gave her a hand.
Good.
We all went out together.
Yeah. Everyone made it home okay. Nobody needed the hospital?
No, not to my knowledge.
Interesting. Now I know this secret society, and I think everybody listening does too. So I hope we don't end up in the newspaper. Thank you for sharing that. I know, like, talking about rescues is sometimes a little bit heavy and hard, but there are fun aspects to it. What's your favorite part of search and rescue?
The society.
The secret society?
No, not the secret society too, but the group of people. I mean, they're just all great people, even if you're not on the same rescue team. It's just a really solid support group of focused people.
Yeah.
And they're just fun to be with, and it's a great family.
Yeah, I can attest to that. Really nice, kind-hearted people. Was there ever a time you wanted to quit but didn't?
Yeah.
Whether on a rescue or...
No, we had some turmoil in one of our teams a few years ago, and it just wasn't fun for me anymore.
Yeah. What turned that around?
One of two people had to leave, and one of the two people left, and the problem went away.
Perfect.
And it became fun again.
Good. Sounds like a pretty simple solution. All right, let me see what other questions I have for you. Oh, let's transition into fiddling. How does search and rescue tie into fiddling for you? Or does it?
It doesn't. but I think there's a lot of climbers out there. One of the things that attracts climbers to the sport is climbing is an endeavor that requires 100% of your concentration all the time. So the entire universe is blanked out while you're climbing. So we tend to like those kind of things.
Yeah.
We have one famous climber that is a bookbinder. You would think it would be adrenaline junkies, but it's really not like that. It has to do with the focusing and not the adrenaline.
Interesting.
So we have dancers. We have, like I said, bookbinders. There's a number of musicians. I know of two cellists that are on the rescue teams. Painters, artists. It's that focus that attracts us, I think.
Interesting.
So fiddle making is very focused work, and I just happen to like fiddling, and of course I'm a woodworker, and they're made out of wood, so I figured, well, I can do that.
Yeah, how long have you been making fiddles?
Pretty close to 20 years.
That's a long time. And you make and sell them?
I make and sell them, yep. I sold 4 this year.
Wow.
And I do mostly repair.
Okay.
Now, I only build maybe 1 to 2 fiddles a year.
Okay.
It's not a big market.
Well, it probably takes you a while. How long does it take you to make a fiddle?
The rule of thumb is 400 hours per fiddle. But that gets stretched out over, I don't know, last year I made 2 in the wintertime. This year I made 1, but I made 4 bows this year. Yeah,
you have 3 bows with you, right?
Oh,
or
I got
4?
A bunch of them over here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 bows with me.
Is that usual to carry that many?
I usually carry at least 2.
Okay.
In case we have a malfunction.
Yep.
Redundancy is important. But I thought you'd be interested in seeing the bows.
Yes.
As well.
So let's hear a song or two. We're going to transition your mic, and I'm just going to turn my mic off so that you can have the full attention. Any introductions you want to make before you play?
Well, most of the tunes I play are traditional tunes, what we call traditional tunes. So people that are not familiar with traditional music, I usually tell them they're jigs, Irish music.
Irish jigs.
That gets them in the right direction.
Okay.
But there's a lot of different, the French Canadians, they have their own way of playing these tunes, and they have their own tunes. But they're all traditional tunes that were played in logging camps and community centers over the last couple of centuries, really. And a lot of these tunes were played in kitchen parties and these contra dances that I talked about. And so I'll play I guess I'll call them American traditional. Probably the first one might have some Irish or Scottish in it, but these are played at contra dances, and I'll run a couple of them together for you. So the first one will be riding in a load of hay, and then I'll transition to Mari's Wedding, which is I think that's a Scottish or Irish tune.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes.
Awesome.
Oop, hitting the table. Live radio. I'll try that again.
That was awesome.
There you go. Mistakes and all.
Was there a transition there?
Yes.
Those were two different songs, right?
Different songs.
Yeah.
Yep.
I could tell between the first and the second. The second one was the wedding one?
Yep.
I like that one. Which one's your favorite song?
I don't have a favorite.
You don't have a favorite?
No. Depends on the day.
Yeah. So, you talked about this oral tradition and the way of storytelling through playing, right? Is there a certain song that has a interesting story attached with it?
A lot of these songs have words to them, and I don't happen to dwell on the words because I can't sing and play the fiddle at the same time.
Right.
I think one song that, well, most of these songs, like I mentioned earlier, there's Irish, whether it's Irish or Scottish. Nobody really owns these tunes. There's a song called "The Red-Haired Boy" that I went to an Alistair Fraser concert one time, and he took the red-haired boy and he played it as it's played in Scotland. And there's a big Irish-Scottish presence in North Carolina. And so it ends up with an Appalachian feel to it.
Okay.
So he played Red-Haired Boy as an Appalachian tune.
Yeah.
And then he went to Australia, and then he went to Africa, and then he took that red-haired boy and he played it all around the world for us at that concert. And you could hear Red-Haired Boy in it, but it was played in a different style.
Yeah.
Each area that he took that song, and so that's pretty interesting to me. That, I love seeing how these songs will change depending on what country or what area you're in.
Do you have any songs that you at least have two versions of, like that you play?
Oh boy. This is live radio.
This is live radio, but it's also live community radio.
We could try Molly in the Wood.
Okay. Molly in the Wood?
Yep.
And which versions are you going to do?
What would it be? I would say a more traditional version that we would play at a contra dance.
Okay.
And then it's another way that I heard it when I was up in Canada.
We'll call it the Canadian version.
And I don't know how it got that version, but I was playing at a dance, and it was like, God, this is Molly in the Wood.
Okay.
And so we'll see how that goes.
All right, awesome.
Hopefully I won't bump into the table again.
Well, if you do, it's okay. Our listeners are very forgiving. like that one. The second one that you did?
Yep.
Was that the Canadian one?
Yep.
I really like that version. The first one was nice, but the second one, it was like the rhythm changed.
Bouncy, yep.
Yeah. So I was trying to picture this like in one of these events that you go to, when fiddles are being played. What other instruments are there?
Oh goodness, mandolins, guitars, basses, accordions. Button accordion is really big in Irish music, Scottish music, and French Canadian music. Mm-hmm. Button accordion is really popular up in
Interesting.
Quebec.
And what do they do for percussion?
A lot of the percussion is foot percussion.
Yeah.
And when they play at a kitchen party or something like that, what they do is they put the fiddler up on the kitchen table, and the fiddler would clog.
Okay.
And play the fiddle at the same time, and that's what the percussion is.
Do you have clogs?
I did not bring any clogs, but I do clog.
You do?
And we clog at dances.
Did you learn that at the same time that you learned the fiddle?
I didn't learn clog until about maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay, so you're kind of new at it.
Yeah, it takes a while to get it.
Yeah.
And I've tried over the years, but I never clicked in. And,
yeah.
I was at fiddle camp, and Savant Jacques was teaching how to clog, and he, for some reason, taught it in a way that I kind of got it.
That made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was this a fiddle camp over in Maine?
Yeah, Maine Fiddle Camp. It's in just outside of Liberty, Maine, east of Augusta.
I feel like last year when I spoke to you on the phone about being on the radio, you were just coming back from fiddle camp.
Yeah, it's great fun.
Yeah. So you go there to learn?
Go there to learn, yeah.
Yeah.
There's musicians from all over. Maine Fiddle Camp has quite a few people from Quebec that come down to teach. And there's, it's really Maine music camp. You can learn the cello, you can learn penny whistle, anything you want. But and you can learn how to call dances, and you can learn how to dance. You can learn. It's a nice camp.
It sounds like it. I just had never heard of it before. How many? Like, what's the age range that you see when you go to fiddle camp?
It's Maine Fiddle Camp is not an adult fiddle camp. It's an all age fiddle camp. So, let's say you wanted to take up the cello, you would be in the beginner cello class. There would be kids there from 5 years old to 80.
Nice.
And they're all beginners.
Yeah.
And they're all equals. There's no adults. There's no kids.
That must make for an interesting dynamic. People. Yeah. And then you guys actually stay there and you eat meals together?
Yep. You stay there for the week.
Do they do like contra dances at night?
Every night.
Every night?
Dance. Sometimes 2. Yep. And there's sessions. I mean, you play from 8 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night.
Whoa. Do you ever get sick of it?
A little bit. I bring my bicycle.
You do?
Around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I got to get out of there.
You go for a ride? What kind of bike do you have?
I have a candid.
Okay. Is it like
I bought from the Littleton Bike Shop?
Ooh. Did you know that recently changed hands?
No.
Yeah, there's new owners. They're really nice people.
I'm sure they are.
Is it a gravel bike?
It is.
Okay. I was just trying to imagine what kind of bike you'd be riding around the camp successfully. I'm picturing a camp in Maine. Like I'm from Maine, so lots of dirt roads and stuff.
Yeah, this one I got about a 15-mile loop. I like to.
Nice. Well, I think we have a little bit more time. Do you want to play another song?
Sure.
Do you have one in mind?
No.
No. All right. Well, we'll see what song you pick.
We'll do a French Canadian set.
Okay.
Hopefully this chord doesn't. We'll have to talk about this for the next person.
We will. We're learning things.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a set of 3 tunes. There are tunes that we play at dances quite often. The first tune I learned from a gal over in Milan who actually grew up in a logging camp, and she taught me this tune, and it's called Raspberries and Strawberries. And then I'm going to go into the Gaspé Reel, named for the Gaspé Peninsula, and then I'll go into a popular dance tune called L'Abestrain, and there's a dance that's written just for that song. So we'll see how that goes.
Bravo. That was 3 songs?
That was 3 songs.
Oh, I couldn't tell where they changed on that one.
That's the trick.
It is the trick.
Because when you're playing for dances, you can't have the dancers tripping over each other when you're switching songs.
Yeah.
You stay right on the beat. And you try to find a song that starts on the note that the last song ended on.
Yep. So are certain songs written together?
No.
Or are they...
No, you just be playing along and the song will come into your head and you play it.
Nice. There's a lot of improv involved.
Always improv.
Always.
That's the great thing about it.
Yeah. It seems like you're kind of drawn to things where you get to... You're building. With fiddling, you're still technically building something.
You're making it your own.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks for playing.
That was fun.
How often do you play for yourself?
I practice for, on average, minimum of an hour a day.
You do play every day?
Sometimes up to 2 hours.
Yeah. Is it usually in the evening?
No, it's usually in the late afternoon.
Okay.
When I get done in the shop. And I got my fiddle there and I play.
Yeah. Have you been playing more lately? I know you have a knee injury that's kind of kept you less active.
Quite a bit lately. Not just because of the knee injury, but because it's winter time. We play a lot in the winter.
Yeah.
So we have 2 dances coming up with the Better Late Than Never band. One in Norway and one in Randolph Town Hall on March 18th.
Okay. Is that open to anybody?
Anybody. Yep.
That'd be fun.
7 to 9. And it's a fundraiser for the Randolph Mountain Club.
Ooh.
I'm playing over in Bridgeton at Players tomorrow night with the Free Range Trio.
You're not part of a band. You play with bands?
I play with a number of bands.
Okay.
I play with the Better Late Than Never band, Free Range Trio, Fireside Fiddlers. Yeah. So.
You're like a guest?
Oh no, I'm members of those bands.
Of all of them?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And Fleur-de-Lis. Yeah. Fleur-de-Lis is probably the most challenging band that I'm in.
Yeah? Why is that?
They're the most accomplished musicians, and they take these traditional tunes and we put a jazz twist to them.
That'd be interesting.
So
when are they playing?
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
It's fun. We have a cellist from Oberlin College that plays with us, and we have Janine Lubier plays fiddle, mandolin, and Anna Cisco from the Gemini Cafe over in Bethel. She plays jazz piano.
Wow.
And it's I really enjoy that band a lot.
So if our listeners wanted to go have the experience, which event would you recommend?
I think they should go to the Randolph Mountain Club fundraiser. It's a contra dance. It's run it's a traditional contra dance, and you'll get to see how this music fits into just the whole world of traditional music. It's why we play these tunes.
And you said it's March 18th?
March 18th.
From
7 to 9.
7 to 9.
The Randolph Town Hall.
I'm going to put it in my calendar right now. And that's a Wednesday night.
No, that should be a Saturday night.
Oh, am I on the wrong? It says Wednesday, March 18th. Do we have the date wrong? Maybe.
Check my Facebook page.
All right, we'll check your Facebook page after. I'll make a post and make sure I include that information.
Would the 14th be a Sunday?
The 14th is a Saturday.
Saturday, so it'd be the 14th.
The 14th?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. Saturday the 14th from 7 to 9 at the Randolph Town Hall.
Town Hall. Yep, on Durand Road.
I think I've been there with AVSAR.
Yeah, we did that training out of that building.
Yes, we did. Well, we're going to wrap things up, Paul. Is there anything that you feel like you didn't get to talk about today that you still want to?
Not really. I kind of expected you were going to ask me how fiddles were made and stuff like that.
Let's talk about it. I can give you more time. We technically have until noon. I just usually like to,
Once again, this was the anticipation.
There was anticipation for sure. So let's talk about fiddle making. We can do that. What's involved here? How do you start out when you're going to make a fiddle?
Well, my fiddles are made with all local woods, pretty much.
You get?
Yeah. So if this top came from a tree in Milan, New Hampshire, and the back came from a piece of spruce from up in Jackman, Maine.
My brother lives in Jackman. Do you just take pieces of wood out of the forest?
Well, you look for trees that fit the parameters that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And I knew, I was talking to a logger, and he was into some old growth spruce up in Milan, up at around 3,000 feet elevation, which is optimum. Because you don't want the trees to grow too fast. You want them to grow slow so that the grain lines are very tight together.
Yep.
And you're looking for wood of a certain specific gravity or density as well. So when I heard about that, I got in touch with the scaler over at White Mountain Lumber, and I knew that those logs were going to be being delivered to White Mountain Lumber. And he brought me into the yard, and they had taken a whole bunch of these logs and put them off to the side, and somebody was going to come down from Canada and buy these just for instrument making.
Okay.
And I picked this tree. We bought the whole tree. And so that's where I got this wood. And then the wood from Jackman I got from a guy named Arthur Hutchins over in Andover, Maine, and he was working for the Ethan Allen Company at the time, at the mill there. And Ethan Allen liked nice bland maple.
Okay.
And if you get this curly maple, they really couldn't use it. So he would take it home with him, and he had a whole barn full of it. And so I pawed through the barn, and I found some of the boards that were the specific gravity and density and feel that I was looking for, and so I got some of that, and that's where I get my wood.
What about the part between the front and the back? Yeah.
That's the same maple.
Okay.
Yep. The fingerboard is called zebra wood. That's not local.
Where does that come from?
I'm not sure. Probably Brazil.
Okay. So you had to order it?
So this is all... actually, no. I got this wood from Anna Cisco. Her dad, Jim Cisco, had a bunch of zebra wood out behind the house, and they made some countertops out of it and stuff. And I grabbed some of that, and so I've made a couple of fiddles with the zebra fingerboards.
Cool. So it sounds like you're kind of a wood scavenger.
Yeah, and I just like the local. I like making things locally.
Yeah.
You know, and the rosin is made by a friend of mine, Tad Marks from Maryland. He makes this rosin.
Okay.
So I like homemade things.
Yeah.
I like making stuff.
I know. I think last time you were on, you talked about making your own crampons or something.
Oh, yeah. I just make stuff. Too cheap to buy it.
Well, also you enjoy making it, right?
Yeah, it's, it's inventing stuff. It's designing stuff.
Yeah.
Engineering stuff.
Yeah. So we talked about the time it takes to make a fiddle. 400 hours.
Yep.
So is there a lot of in between waiting?
Well, the waiting you don't put in. It'd be 1,000,000 hours if you count the waiting.
Gotcha.
Basically, you got to find the tree, cut it, split it, and you split the top and sometimes the back into firewood chunks, so they're little triangles. Then you put them back to back, and then you have to hand carve from there down to the shape you want. And then once you get the shape, then you do the inside, and you bring the inside down to... This might get a little long-winded. You might not be able to...
Maybe too detailed?
You want the top to come down to a certain note. So you carve that down to a certain note, and then you bring the back down to a certain note. And the top and the back want to be one note apart. So once you get them down, so that then you start bringing them down together. Sometimes it'll take you an entire day to remove 3 or 4 grams of wood. And once you get the two, if you get the top at a D and the back at an E, okay, that's really good. And then you have to make the top tap out to a D all over the top. And then you have to take the back and get that to tap out to an E all over the back.
What is the instrument that or the tool you're using to measure the note?
My ear.
But how are you playing it without the strings on it?
You could do this with a piano.
Yes.
You could do it with a frequency modulator off
like
the
a
phone,
fork?
or a tuning fork. A tuning fork would be an A, but yeah.
Okay.
So you tap the note on your piano, let's say, and
it's just from tapping the wood that you hear it?
Yep.
Okay.
That's almost all the same all over.
Interesting. Wow.
Now, if I got a lesser quality fiddle, let's see if I can get it off the side. See, that's higher.
Yeah.
That's because it's tight here.
Okay.
So I would know that this I'd have to remove wood because that's higher, and then the back, the top here is going to be lower.
Yeah.
That's one note apart.
That is so cool. I never knew
that's
this.
That's a D. I know that because I tuned it. And then you have to get that. And so
you're taking your finger. Yeah, you're taking your finger and you're tapping the wood and you're making sure it's the same pitch everywhere.
Everywhere.
Wow.
And then I work, and there's a whole bunch of parameters that you're playing with. You're playing with the density, the weight, the note, and the thickness. So I work off a light table too. And the light, I'm working in a completely dark, silent room, and I have a very intense light behind that. And the fiddle will show red as the light shines through the top. And if it's red and then there's a dark spot, I know that that's a little thicker.
Right.
So then I'll tap it and see if it's higher or lower, and then I'll decide to either remove wood from there or not.
Do you ever accidentally remove too much wood?
That's why you bring the top and the back down together.
Okay.
I might decide if I make a mistake with the top, let's say, and I go from getting down to a C sharp, let's say, then I'll have to bring the back down to a D sharp.
Right.
To get them to be the same.
It's kind of like giving yourself a haircut and you cut one.
Yeah.
One side is too short, so then you got to even it out. Yeah.
Like trimming sideburns. But that's where the real joy of and the art of building these instruments comes to play is getting that wood to talk to itself.
That's amazing. I never knew that was involved there.
That can be a week's worth of work.
Yeah. And you probably have to sometimes just like walk away and come back to it and take breaks. Yeah,
I do. And I think about that, when I go in for surgery or something, right? It's like the surgeon can't just like put it up.
Right.
If he's having a bad day. I can put it up.
Yeah.
But if a surgeon makes a bad cut, it will heal. If I make a bad cut, it's there forever.
That's true.
So I've got one up on the surgeon sometimes.
And I'm sure, all of the special woods that you get, you feel like you need to be a good steward of what you have, right? So
I have wood all the way back to maybe 2010 in my shop.
Yeah.
And it's all archived and dated.
Nice.
And the place where it was cut, who I got it from.
Wow. I'd like to see what your shop looks like. I'm imagining super organized, but maybe organized.
When I'm in the middle of a project, it doesn't look that organized. I need a scrub tech.
What's that?
That's the person that lays out all the scalpels and tools in an operating room.
Gotcha. Back to the surgeon metaphor. Well, Paul, do you feel more complete now? Do you feel like you've been able to explain your fiddle making in a roundabout way?
Sure.
Yeah. Thanks for talking through that. It's probably difficult for our listeners to imagine, but hopefully we've used enough descriptive words so that they can get a sense of what you're talking about. I'll post a couple video clips I got of you playing.
It'll be interesting to see how this presents on the radio.
I know. Well, I really appreciate you coming back a second time and being willing to share your love of fiddles with us. And hopefully we get some people that are interested in going to that event at the Randolph Town Hall on March 14th from 7 to 9. And it is a fundraiser for the Randolph Mountain Club.
That's correct.
And many of us use those trails, so I think it's an important cause.
And a lot of fun.
And super fun. I'm excited. It sounds like a very cultural event.
Oh, it's an absolute blast.
Good. Well, Paul, thank you.
All right, well, thanks for having me.
Yeah. And for our listeners, thank you so much for being here. By tuning in, you are keeping real stories and community conversations alive, and that's no small thing, and I'm so glad you're part of it. If you have thoughts about today's episode or someone you think would make a great guest, I'd love to hear from you. You can send me an email at amanda@clearviewadvantage.com. And if you want to catch up on past episodes, maybe you missed Paul's first episode. That's a great one to listen to. He is the most listened to guest of all time so far. And if you want to catch up on that or you want to share one with a friend, you can find them anytime at clearviewadvantage.com/podcast. This has been North of Normal with Amanda McKeen. We will see you next Tuesday from 10 to noon. Until then, stay grounded, stay curious, and stay a little north of normal.